Hey sis, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are doing a detailed base routine. Now this is super beginner friendly, and the good thing about today is that I use all Maybelline products. So all drugstore Maybelline products. So if you are interested in how I achieve this flawless base today, then just continue to watch. All right sis, so let's get into the first product. So first product is of course your primer. And today I'm just sticking with makeup products. Of course, before this, you would want to moisturize your skin. So make sure you've done your skin prep and all of that. Do that before we move on to any of the makeup. So first makeup product is your primer. So for the purpose of this video, we're gonna stick with all Maybelline products, all affordable drugstore Maybelline products. Fun fact, Maybelline was my first ever makeup product. I believe it was the foundation, but yeah, Maybelline has always been a part of my makeup routine. So I love that we get to use all Maybelline products today. So the first product I'm going to be using today is my Maybelline Poreless Jelly Primer. This is a hydrating blurring primer. So if you're someone who suffers with pores or textured skin, this one's going to blur your pores as well as hydrate your skin. So if you're looking for something that does both of those things, this one is it. I love it because it does give you 24-hour hydration. It has a blurring effect to it as well. It also feels weightless. It doesn't leave a white cast. It has no silicone. So there's a lot of claims to this, which I love. So we're going to use this today as the primer. And I'm going to focus this in my T-zone because for me, those are the areas that I have mostly pores going on. So I want to make sure that I'm focusing it in the areas that obviously do have pores. But again, this is hydrating, so you're open to use it all over your skin. Now, when you put it in your hand, it's very silicone-y, but as soon as you put it on your face, you're gonna feel that hydrating effect. It's also transparent, like you can't visibly see it going on your skin, but you can feel it. My skin instantly feels super smooth after putting that on too. So a really good product by Maybelline. And affordable, of course. All right, so we're gonna move on to some foundation now. Now, like I said, we're sticking to Maybelline products, so I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. This is good for normal to oily skin, and I'm in the shade 360. So I'm gonna pair that with my BK Beauty 101 brush. Love this brush, been using it ever since I got it. So we're gonna use these two today just to create a nice flawless base. So I'm just going to start by applying it in dots on my face, and then I'm just going to dab that into the skin. So applying it in dots will just allow you to control how much product you're putting on your face. It also allows you to actually keep the product on your face as well. You never want to apply your foundation directly to your brush. So just apply it to your face in dots, especially this one because it doesn't come with a pump. I like pouring it on the back of my hand, but yeah, good practice is applying it in dots on your face. And with the remaining, I'm just gonna go over my nose area, and then what's left on my hand, I kind of take that and kind of focus it in the areas that need that extra coverage. All right, sis, so just like that, we have a flawless base. Love, love, love how my skin is looking. Pores are zero, cannot be found. All right, so once you have your base, you can now move on to sculpting back your face. So we're talking about highlighting, contouring, bronzing. These are steps that is going to structure back your face. So again, I like to say this all the time. When we put foundation on, we're essentially getting rid of the natural highlights and contours to our face. So the reason that we contour, the reason that we highlight, the reason that we draw those lines on our face is because we are bringing back that natural structure that everyone has. So let's get into that step. So as you know, this is a Maybelline video. We're using all Maybelline products, and Maybelline was nice enough to send me their Lifter Stix along with their primers, which is the one that you saw me use earlier, but they were nice enough to send me their Lifter Stix to try out today. So today's video is featuring these beautiful sticks, guys. Now these are multi-benefit sticks, meaning you can use them for multiple benefits. So highlighting, contouring, bronzing, foundation, you have options with these sticks, which I love, and I think it's such a good beginner product. Like, you cannot go wrong with these Lifter Stix. So I'm excited to show you guys how to use them in a makeup look. So we're going to use them today. Now I did get sent 3. I am going to be using only 2 of the 3. So one of them is for, of course, my highlighting, and the other one is for my contouring. All right, so I'm going to go in with the shade 65 for my highlighting. Now when we talk about highlighting, we're talking talking about highlighting the center of our face. So that's underneath the eyes, the forehead, down the bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow, and your chin. So literally your T-zone. And when you think of that, it's the middle of your face in the shape of the letter T. So I'm gonna go in with this stick and I'm just gonna apply some to my under eye. And one thing about this stick is that it's super creamy. This is going to glide on your skin like butter. So because these are cream products, I don't have to worry too much about it drying down. It has a specific oil in it. I'll leave it on the screen here. I can't remember the oil they use, but I'll leave it on the screen. So it's very hydrating. You don't have to worry about it drying up too fast. And again, it's super smooth, like it glides onto the skin. So I'm just gonna apply this in all my areas that we would highlight. And then I'm gonna go in with the second shade for my contouring. So the shade I'm gonna be using is number 85. And this is such a beautiful, deep chocolate. Ooh, love the shade. And then using this, I'm gonna apply it in all the areas that we usually contour. So that's the forehead, the cheekbone, the jawline, and down the sides of our nose. So again, the forehead, cheekbone, jawline, and down the sides of our nose. Again, super creamy, super easy to apply. Loving these sticks already. All right, so to blend out my concealer, I'm gonna go in with my BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A506 brush. And I'm just going to start with the edges first and work my way up and then underneath the eyes. Guys, these are so creamy, just so easy to blend out. The coverage is also there as well. So if you have dark under eyes, you don't have to worry about whether this will conceal or not. It will do the trick. Again, we're just going to blend it out. And when you blend, just make sure that you're keeping that product exactly where you applied it. Try to just keep it in the areas it belongs. So the forehead, right above your brows, down the nose. Make sure that you just go straight down, of course. This is definitely a product that you can also have in a 10-minute makeup look, the way that these are so easy to blend out. Now, if you're oily skin, you may need to take some extra precaution when using these because they definitely do have that oil really prominent in it, which I think is what's helping it to blend out so easily as well. So you want to make sure you're using a really good mattifying primer, mattifying setting spray. You make sure you're using powder. So really take the precautions with this product if you are oily skin or combination as well. Now, I'm sitting here because first, I'm amazed because my skin has never looked like this. But I'm also sitting here just disappointed in myself because I didn't realize my camera stopped filming and I blended out my contour. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back over the areas just because I'm so dedicated and I want to show you guys how to do this. So we're gonna go back over the contoured areas, but I'm going to just go over it with a little bit of product just to show you guys how I do the blending. So we just applied some over the contour. And what you wanna do is just blend that forehead contour into your hairline. So you wanna blend it away from your face. And then with your cheekbone, you want to blend it into the hollows of your cheek. And one thing, guys, I was saying before I was rudely interrupted is that this product is so easy to blend out. You will have no time blending out this product because it just glides onto your skin. So that's one thing that I know you guys will love as beginners is that you won't be sitting there blending out this product because it is going to move with you. It blends out like butter. So definitely a beginner product that I will recommend to you all. But I just wanted to come back and just show you how I blended out that contour. I also went back in with my concealer brush and just made sure that the edges of both of them, so the highlighting lifter stick and the contour lifter stick, you just want to make sure that they blend seamlessly together on your face. They want to look like they go together, not like they don't know who each other is. So make sure that everything is blended out before you go on to the next step. So just to quickly finish up the look, I'm gonna go in with that lifter stick and just take some onto a flat brush to just clean up my brows just conceal my dark eyelids. This is definitely going to be my new everyday product. Shout out to these lifter sticks. These are definitely the star of today's video. Love, love, love these sticks. All right, so let's move on to the next product. So one thing I will say is if you are dry skin, I think you're okay to actually go out of the house. Like, you don't even need to worry about powdering. This is such a natural skin-like product that I feel like you do not need to go the extra mile in terms of setting and things like that. Your skin is still gonna look like skin. Now, if you are someone who is combination or oily skin, I would recommend you going on to this step, which is your powder. And this is just going to give you that reassurance for your skin and just make sure that you set and don't have to worry about getting oily throughout the day, because this does have a lot of oils. It's going to, you're gonna get oily. I could already foresee the future for myself. So we're gonna go in with some powder today. And what powder do you think I'm gonna be using? So of course I'm gonna be using my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, and this is in the shade Medium Deep. So I'm gonna be pairing it with my Real Techniques setting brush. And the reason I'm using a brush today for my powder instead of a velour puff is because we do not need to completely set this. We still want it to look like skin and make it look as natural as possible, but we do want to lightly brush on some powder over this. So I'm gonna dip into this powder, dust off the excess powder, and all we're doing is sweeping this along all the areas that we applied your highlighter. And this is just gonna lightly set those areas. This was another OG. I went nowhere without this powder. This just gave me a really nice bright highlighted under eye, which I love. I'm also gonna put some on the eyelids as well to set those areas. I feel like my eyelids do tend to get oily as well. So just going in with that powder and setting. And I love that I could still see the radiance peeping through. Love, 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 love. All right, and then we're gonna move on to one more powder, which is your all over powder. Now this is just going to set your entire face, of course. So I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Superstay Powder Foundation Powder, and then I'm gonna pair that with my BK Beauty 102 brush. So the reason I'm using this big fluffy brush by BK Beauty is because of that, because it's so big and fluffy. This powder is so pigmented. It's supposed to be a foundation powder, but I want to lightly sweep this on my face. I don't want to look cakey or powdery. So going in with a fluffier brush will just ensure that you are lightly applying this powder. So I'm gonna lightly dip into that as well. And all you wanna do is press this in the outer areas of your face where you've applied foundation, even over your contour as well, to lightly set. And this is just going to really bring everything together. I feel like your finishing powder or any type of powder always just brings the look together. And just like that, we've lightly powdered the face. My skin still looks like skin. My skin still looks really vibrant and hydrated. It doesn't even look like I've applied like a heap load of powder on, but we did do our due diligence and set the face. So this is what I would recommend for my combination and oily skin girls to do. If you are dry skin, you are open to doing this step, but you can also just wear the lifter sticks alone. So love, love, love this for us. We got options. All right, so the last step is of course some blush. This is optional though. You can actually go out the house like this if you're ready, but I love a nice blush. So I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Fit Me blush in the shade Berry. I'm just pairing that with my Real Techniques blush brush. I'm just gonna dip into that powder. We're just gonna apply this on the apples of the cheek. I love this blush because it's such a good black girl friendly blush. You don't have to worry about it being overbearing. I probably put about 3 layers right now and I still feel like it's not enough. So you have the option to build this as well. Such a really nice berry type of blush for darker skin. So I'm just gonna apply that to finish up this look. All right, sis, so the skin is complete. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup just quickly off camera just to complete everything, and then I'll be back to close off the video. All right, sis, so this is the finishing look. Now, if you tell me this is not the most perfect base routine, I don't know what to tell you, sis, because my skin looks like I don't even know. This looks amazing. So I hope today's video was very educational. I hope you guys go out and get these lifter sticks. I'll leave them all in my description box below for you to check out. Definitely something I would recommend for all my beginners, even if you are not a beginner. Such a good product from Maybelline. I would definitely recommend. Their primer is really good as well. So if you have pores or anything like that, or you just want an extra hydrating primer, that is a really good one as well. So everything that I used today, I'll leave it in the description box below. But that is about it, guys. If you haven't checked out my most recent video, I did do a nice fall makeup look right here, full face, because I know you guys love when I do my full face videos. So check that out if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.